Hello and welcome to From the Roots Up, where we are building our homestead little by little from the roots up. I am Kristy.
And I'm Makayla.
Today we're going to be canning salsa. It is day 4 of our Every Bit Counts challenge. We've got tomatoes and peppers and onions out, and we are going to can some salsa. I have my little helper here, Makayla, and she is going to help me chop up veggies and prepare everything for the canner. Salsa is a really simple, easy thing to do. Now, since we don't have any paste tomatoes, we are going to go ahead and add a can of tomato paste. Makayla, go ahead and get our can of tomato paste.
It's tiny.
It's tiny, and add it to the pot. There's a spoon right there. You can scrape it out. If you have paste tomatoes, you don't have to do this step, but the paste tomatoes or the tomato paste really help it give that salsa consistency. Now, we also want to make sure we add 3/4 of a cup of vinegar. Perfect. Other than that, we're gonna have, generally speaking, about 7 or 8 cups of tomatoes, a couple of onions, and some bell peppers and some jalapenos, and part of that depends on how hot you like your salsa, and also cilantro. Usually we put cilantro in our salsa, so those are the ingredients to a good salsa. The thing with salsa is you can really customize it with whatever you have on hand. So we're gonna start chopping. Are you ready, Makayla?
Yes.
All right. Now, to chop these tomatoes, we're gonna hollow out the little inside part with a spoon. That's really easy, and then you can chop the rest of it. And I just take a spoon.
They're juicy.
And they are very juicy. And you just pull out the little inside, that little top. All right, now to help her go a little faster, I'm gonna help her cut the rest of the tomatoes. All right, while Makayla finishes up the tomatoes, I'm gonna go ahead and cut our 2 big ol' onions.
Thank you. Also not thank you. I'm gonna face the other way.
All right, next we're gonna use the bell peppers. So it's just whatever I harvested in our garden today is what we've got. The girls affectionately refer to this as the Wakka Wakka. It's a little handheld chopper, and
when
it makes
we were little, we did. I don't know what it's called.
Makes chopping much faster. All right, cilantro, and I'm just gonna pull the cilantro leaves off, and then I'll chop the leaves. Now, the very last step is gonna be to cut our hot peppers, and I have learned it is best to wear gloves because handling hot peppers, the capsaicin in them, which is what makes them hot, if it gets on your hands, well, it can burn if you wipe your eyes or accidentally touch an open wound. It just is way better to be proactive and wear gloves because, well, I've learned that the hard way. So I have several jalapenos, I don't know, 8-ish, and then I have 1 hot cayenne pepper. So I'm gonna cut the jalapeno open, and you can remove the seeds, that's what makes it hot, or if you want an extra little kick, you can leave the seeds in. Either way.
How do seeds make it hot?
That's just part of the hot part of the pepper.
Interesting.
I remove the bulk of the seeds, but I don't finick with all of them. Okay, so now we have a big pot of soon-to-be salsa. We're gonna give it a stir. So the next thing we're gonna do is bring it over the stove, get it to boiling and let it set for about 30 minutes boiling, and then we're gonna put it in the jars. Now while the salsa is going, we're gonna put jars in the canner, and we're gonna go ahead and heat those jars up so that they're ready to go. Because if you put something hot into a cool jar, there's the potential that it could crack, and we don't want that happening. So this just reduces that potential. All right, Makayla, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go boil it. All right, MJ, are you ready? So we have the salsa nice and cooked, and we have the jars heated. So I'm gonna take the jars out. Okie dokie. So we're gonna take this funnel and we're gonna put it right here. Now we want 1/2 inch of headspace in each of these jars. The headspace is the space between the tippy top of the jar and the tippy top of the canning liquid. But for this, it's the salsa, okay? So.
Is that like would we want to end it up right there?
We want to end it up about right here.
Okay.
Like right above this little notch, okay?
So like right where that funnel is.
About right where the funnel is, yeah. So go ahead and fill. Good job. Now I'm going to get a knife because we are going to stick this in here and pull out bubbles.
So about 3 of those is good.
A little bit more.
A little bit more.
A little bit less. There we go, that's about right. Now, nope. Put that back, put that back.
Ah.
Okay, now we're gonna take the knife and then we're just gonna move the knife around, and that helps settle it. It helps remove some of the bubbles. Add a little, let's just do a teeny tiny bit more. Once it settles, sometimes it needs more. Now, what we do is you're gonna tighten it, and you're gonna tighten it, you're gonna put the lid on, and just with your fingertips, you're gonna screw it on until you feel a little bit of resistance. Okay, now stop. Once you feel that resistance, then take it with your fingertips, with your fingertips, and twist just a little bit more, okay? And we did that. So now we're gonna take our little canner grabby thing and we're gonna put it back in the water, okay? Careful, these are still warm. So let's go ahead and do that with all of these. Okay, now this one, if you'll notice, didn't fill up completely all the way. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna take this one and we're gonna put it in the fridge and we're gonna just eat it fresh without canning it. Now the only thing left to do you know what the last thing left to do is?
Take those out.
Not yet, we gotta can them.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, all we do is we're gonna bring this pot over to the stove. Now there's at least 1 inch or 1/2 inch of water on top of the cans. So we're gonna bring this pot over to the stove and we're gonna boil it, and it needs to be boiling for 20 minutes. We'll turn the heat off and then we'll let it set for 5 minutes. Then we pull them out ready to go.
Pull them out of the pot.
Yep. All right, you ready to get canning?
Yes.
Let's do it. All right, it's been 20 minutes in the water bath canner and then another 5 to cool off a little bit. And now we're gonna pull them out. All right, Makayla, you wanna go ahead and pull them out? Be very careful, it is very hot still. Here you go, look at that.
There's water on the top.
Yep, so when you pull them out, tip them a little bit.
Okay.
And that'll get some of that water off.
It's almost like dust inside of the water.
Yeah, that's the calcium. There you go. Good.
I like this jar. It's got a little picture on it.
Oh, did you hear them pop?
Yeah.
That's them sealing up.
Well, that's our salsa and day 4 of our Every Bit Counts challenge.
Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want updates on our Every Bit Counts challenge and all the other things going on our homestead.